Yes, the budget belongs to the administration and the department heads to create based on the dollars that will be available. Council's job is to write the check. If I give a check of, $1 a kid and you go spend it all on candy, you're out of luck. But our department heads over the years of all my time on council have been very cautious, reviewing their budgets and assuring that they stay under their budgets. So that when we go into mid-year review, we're not sitting there going that we're at 95% unless we have some kind of emergency. We also have not decided if we're hiring all the people that were proposed. And one correction, they're all not new people. They're replacements within that document. And I think that's an important statement to make, is of the numbers that are in there, if we don't hire the replacements, we're not going to get some work done. We'll have some serious indications within the police department, in the fire department, in the service department. And I think that needs to be said, that we haven't made decisions yet. That's why the budget just had its first reading. We're having give and take. Rhonda's providing us more information around, out of the money proposed, if I hire just the part-time, what's that cost? If I replace with the full-time, what's that cost? There's not a council member up here that just writes a check without knowing the money's in the bank. Thank you.
I just want to make note of a few simple things. I was a little taken back this week when we sat down to have a finance meeting, and I was told that we have $1.2 million rollover from last year. Now, last year we did not have a finance director. We relied on the finance chair to develop a budget for ourselves, which has proven to be a major problem. My votes were based on a $2.5 million carryover, which turned out to be 1.2. I blame myself for believing in somebody that was very, very, very wrong in what I was told. I want to point out another thing, that this year in the budget currently, we're paving 0 roads. How many times have we sat here and have people walk up with this stuff and hand it to us and say, what are you going to do about it? We have 33 roads in disrepair. Last year we took care of 5. That list is growing every single day. What? $1.2 million. From this point on, I'm giving reader reports from someone on council that I'm not going to believe. My information I want to come from Rhonda. I'm very concerned what we're going to do going forward. I think the mayor has some options I think they need to be considered before the propaganda machine sets in and we start to have all this stuff go swirling around about we're going to tax and take money out of your pocket and council's going to do this or that. How about we stop and wait and see what we're going to do? We haven't even discussed our options yet. So before the propaganda machine gets rolling, and the train's already pushing on Facebook, I've noticed, stop and listen to what's really happening. That's a bunch of nonsense. And by the way, that ad was sponsored, which I found to be appalling. One last thing, the rec center. We talk about the rec center ad nauseum. It's a big issue in this town with, we wanted to have an outdoor pool, we wanted to have a basketball court. The proposition by Ms. Hankin, what she alluded to earlier, would be to do nothing. That building, those parks, they need money to maintain themselves. That doesn't, just happen by happenstance. I mean, we haven't put any money into the building. We ran into problems where there was a major leak in the building, and it cost us quite a bit of money. There's a parking lot that needs to be replaced. It's $300,000. We need a ladder truck for the fire department. That's $1 million. How are we going to pay for that stuff? We've done pretty well up to this point with what we have, but it's starting to come to a head. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and have another 2010 where the bottom fell out, we laid people off, and we're all scratching our head going, oh God, what do we do now? We've got to do something. We've got to discuss options. It's not a matter of just always going to the taxpayers and say, give me some more money. We've never done that. Last time property tax was increased was 1963. Think about that, 1963.